Greetings! Mandatory79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Tier Days! Alright, let's get started. Pressing the A button now. Loading game. And proceeding. Here we are in the main menu, going to edit deck menu. Here we are in the edit deck menu, and now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Dark States, Diabolos Violence, Bruce, D-BT03. Okay, and for the base of this deck, I'll be using this D-BT02 Bruce deck for the base of the deck I'm building, so okay, let's get started. So first go to edit deck. Here we are. And like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building in today's deck profile video is a Dark States Diabolos Violence Bruce deck composed of cards only available up until D-BT03. So first let's go to filter settings, packs, choosing cards from D-BT01, Genesis of the 5 Greats, D-BT02, A Brush of the Legends, D-BT03, Advance of Intertwined Stars, and Festival Collection 2021, apply filter. Here we are. Alright, let's begin. So first up, the grade 3 lineup. For the grade 3s in this deck, we're playing right deck, grade 3, Diabolos Violence Bruce. Its skills are, first skill, auto as a Vanguard. At the start of your right phase, until end of turn, you Final Rush. Specific units get a power-up when you are in Final Rush. Second skill, auto as a Vanguard. When this unit attacks, if you are in Final Rush, cost Soul Blast 5. If you cost them hate, stand all of your front row rear guards. So for Bruce, he's the main grade 3 to ride this deck. His skills, the first one, at the beginning of the ride phase, you activate Final Rush for the rest of the turn. So Final Rush is the main ability to play in your Violence Bruce deck. Just by having Final Rush active, you'll be able to activate a bunch of skills requiring you to be in Final Rush to use. And the second skill, just by attacking while Final Rush is active, by Soul Blasting 5, you'll be able to restand all of your rear guards. So ideally with Bruce's skill, you'll be able to attack 5 times at least with the ideal field you set up for Bruce and the Final Rush ability. So for Diabolos Violence Bruce, we're playing 4, keeping 1 the right deck. Next up, the grade 3 Upward Acrobat Marjorie. For skill, auto as a rear guard once per turn. When this unit attacks, if you are in Final Rush, cost put one of your other rear guards into your soul. If the cost been paid, draw a card, soul charge 1, and this unit gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. So for Marjorie, she's a support card for the Bruce decks. While attacking while Final Rush is active, as long as you don't mind giving up one of your other rear guards to the soul, not only do you draw 1 and soul charge 1, but also give Marjorie that activate the skill plus 10,000 power. So for Marjorie, she's a good way to not only restock your soul and to increase her hand size, but to also give Marjorie more power to attack with for that turn. So for Marjorie, we have 4, keeping 4. The grade 3 Hellblast Full Dive, not gonna play this card, taking 4 out and replacing it with, let's see, I'm gonna be putting in, let's see, the grade 3 normal order Pandemonium Tactics. Its skill, order, plays of a counterblast of 1. If the cost been paid, soul charge 4. Then if you're in Final Rush, perform all of the following according to the number of cards in your soul. 6 or more cards, draw a card. 8 or more cards, all of your front row units get plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. 12 or more cards, choose one of your Vanguards, it gets plus 1 critical until the end of the turn. So for Pandemonium Tactics, it's a order card meant to support the Bruce deck. When played, you give it soul charge 4 cards and then activate skills in accordance to how many cards you have in your soul. With 6 or more, you draw a card. 8 or more, your front row gets plus 10,000 power. 12 or more, your Vanguard gets plus 1 critical. So this order is a good way to not only restock your soul with more cards to use Bruce's Soul Blast skill with, but also to benefit your entire field of the skills as long as you manage to build up a large number of soul cards. So for Pandemonium Tactics, we're playing 2. Next up, the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 2s of this deck, we're playing 1 right deck, Diabolos Anger Richard. Skill, first skill, auto. When this unit is placed in the Vanguard circle, cost, put a rear guard into your soul. If the cost is paid, draw a card. And second skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you are in Final Rush, this gets plus 5,000 power. So for Richard, he's the main grade 2 to ride his deck. His skills, first skill, just by riding into your Vanguard. As long as you don't mind giving up another rear guard into your soul, you get to draw a card. So this first skill is a good way to build up your soul for later soul blast, and also restock your hand. And the second skill, as long as Final Rush is active, Richard gets plus 5,000 power in your rear guard. So with the second skill, as long as Final Rush is active, Richard can serve as a 15,000 point attacker from your front row. So for Richard, you're playing 1 the right deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the Grade 2 Diabolos Boys Eden skills. First skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets plus 5,000 power, and if it is standing, then this turn gets by an effect +1 critical. And second skill, auto as a rear guard. When this unit's attack hits, counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So for Eden, he's another support card for the Bruce decks. His first skill, while Final Rush is active, he gets plus 5,000 power during that turn. And when it restands by a card effect, critical +1. So for this first skill, it's a good way to pressure your opponents with high amounts of power and critical, especially when you combo it with the Diabolos Violence Bruce. It's his second skill. And then the second skill of Eden, just by landing an attack on either the opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, Eden can let you retire one of your opponent's rear guards. So overall, Eden is a good, powerful front row attacker and as well as a rear guard retirer for your Bruce decks. So for Eden, we have 3, keeping 3 in. Next up, the Grade 2 Diabolos Jetbacker Leonard. Its skills are, first skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. And when this unit will attack, it battles all of your opponent's units in a column. And second skill, auto as a rear guard. When this unit attack hits, soul charge 1. And if your Vanguard is Diabolos Violence Bruce, choose up to 1 card from your soul and call it an open rear guard circle. So for Leonard, he's another support card for the Bruce decks. His first skill, as long as Final Rush is active, he gets plus 5,000 power. And then he can attack 1 column in a single attack. So Leonard is a good way to pressure your opponent with decent front row attacks, but to also wipe out their rear guards depending on which column you attack. And the second skill, when this unit attack hits on either an opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, not only can you soul charge 1, but as long as Bruce is your Vanguard, you can superior call any 1 card from your soul to an open rear guard circle. So overall, Leonard is a good card to pressure your opponent with front row attacking and to wipe out the rear guards, and also a good way to soul charge to add up to your soul, and also to get you another attacker as long as you got a free rear guard circle in your front row or back row. So for Leonard, we're playing 4, keeping 4. Next up, the Grade 2, we're adding in the Grade 2 Diabolos Retiner. Derek, its skills are, first skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you're in Final Rush, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. Second skill, action as a rear guard once per turn. Counterblast 1 and put a rear guard into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your opponent's rear guards for every 4 cards in your soul, retire them. Then if you are in Final Rush, look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the number of opponent's open rear guard circles. Choose any number of units from among them, call them the rear guard, put the rest into your soul. So for Derek, he's another support card for the Bruce deck. His first skill, as long as Final Rush is active, Derek can serve as a 15,000 point attacker for your front row. And second skill, by paying the cost of counterblasting 1 and setting a rear guard into your soul, Derek can then let you retire opponent's rear guards depending for every 4 cards in your soul. Then if Final Rush is active while you use the skill, you can superior call the same number of cards as your opponent's empty rear guard circles. So for Derek, he's a very powerful front row attacker and a good card to let you not only build up your soul, but to also retire your opponent's rear guards and to give you a full field to work with without using much cards from your hand. So for Diabolos Return Derek, we're playing 4 of him. Next up, the Grade 1 right deck Diabolos Bad Steve. His skills are, first skill, first auto. When this unit is placed in a Vanguard circle, choose a card from your soul, call it to back row, center, rear guard circle, and soul charge 1. Second skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets 5,000 power. So for Steve, he's the main Grade 1 to ride his deck. His first skill, just by riding onto the Vanguard circle, you can superior call any card from your soul to the back row, center, rear guard circle, then soul charge 1. So for this first skill, it's not only a good way to give you a supporter for the back row to boost your Vanguard with, but to also build up your soul. And the second skill, as long as Final Rush is active, Steve can serve as a 13,000 point attacker or a 13,000 point booster from the back row. So for Diabolos Bad Steve, we have 1 in the right deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the Great One, Protobalt Dragon, skill, auto as a rear guard. When this unit attacks or boosts, if you have in Final Rush, cost counterblast 1 and put another rear guard into your soul. If the cost him hate, choose a card from your soul and put it into your hand. So for Protobalt, it's another support card for the Bruce decks. While attacking or boosting while Final Rush is active, as long as you don't mind paying the cost of counterblasting 1 and giving up a rear guard into your soul, you can take any card from your soul and add to your hand. So Protobalt is a good way to let you secure a defensive card or any other card you wish to use later in the game after using Protobalt's skill. So for Protobalt Dragon, we have 3, taking 1 out for playing 2. And next up, the Great One, Recusal Hate Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Skills are, first skill, Continuous, Sentinel, second skill, Auto. When this unit is put on the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units. It cannot be hit until the end of the battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So for Recusal Hate Dragon, he's a perfect guard for the Dark States Nation. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with, by discarding a card from your hand, you can completely block 1 enemy attack. But he also features an ability unique to all D standard format perfect guards. When used to guard with, while having less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Recusal Hate a no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. So for Recusal Hate, we're playing 4, keeping 4. Next up, the Great One, Diabolos, Madonna, Mabel for skill, auto as a rear guard. When this unit boosts a Vanguard, if you are in Final Rush, cost counterblast 1. If the cost from hate, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets triple drive until the end of the turn. Drive check 3 times. So for Mabel, she's another support card for the Bruce deck. Just by boosting your Vanguard while you're in Final Rush, as long as you don't mind paying a counterblast of 1, your Vanguard gets triple drive, thus drive checking 3 cards, giving you more cards in your hand or increasing the chances of getting a trigger. So for Mabel, we got 2, keeping 2. Next up, the Great One, Monitoring Gear Dober, his skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you're in Final Rush, cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost him hate, choose one of your units and it gets plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Gear Dober, he's another support card for the Bruce deck. Just by boosting while Final Rush is active, at the end of the battle, by putting it into your soul, you'll be able to give any unit on your field plus 10,000 power, a Vanguard rear guard. So Dober is a good card to not only restock your soul with more cards, but to also give one of your remaining attackers in the field a little extra power to work with. So for Dober, we got 3, keeping, let's see, for Dober, we got 3, then, let's see, then I'm going to, okay, got too many cards, let's just see. I'm just gonna take 1 Derek out, playing 3 instead, okay? Then, alright, we covered the Great One lineup. So next up, the Great Zero lineup. For the Great Zeros in deck, we're playing right deck, Great Zero, Diabolos Innocent Matt. Its skill, auto. When this unit is ridden upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Matt, he's the starter game of this deck. Just by riding on top of him, if you went second, you get to draw a card. You got 1 in the right deck. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers in this deck, we're playing Great Zero, Diabolos Girls My, critical trigger. We're playing 4. And next up, Great Zero, Diabolos Boys draw a trigger, taking 3 out. And replacing it with the Great Zero, Stem Deviate Dragon, skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost from hate, choose one of your units and get plus 2,000 power until the end of the turn. So for Stem Deviate, he's a very powerful critical trigger to play in your Dark States Nations decks. Just by boosting an attack at the end of the battle, you get to move your rear guard Stem Deviate into the soul, then give a unit on your field Vanguard rear guard plus 2,000 power. So for Stem Deviate, it's a good way to restock your soul with more cards to soul blast with or to build up their soul with, and also give one of your remaining attackers a little extra power to work with. So for Stem Deviate, we're playing 4. Next up, the Great Zero, Diabolos Girls Natalia, front trigger, skill, continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. So for Natalia, she's a pretty powerful front trigger to play in your Dark States Nations decks. When used to guard with while your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, she gets plus 5,000 shield. So ideally, Natalia can serve as a 20,000 point shield all on her own. So for Natalia, we're taking one out, playing 3. Next up, the Grade 0, Diabolos Girls Ariana, heal trigger, playing 4. Last but not least, the Grade 0, Hades Dragon Deity of Resentment, Galmash Hell, over trigger. Skill, trigger, additional effect. You get during your turn, all of your Vanguards gets plus 10,000 power and plus 1 critical until the end of the fight. So for Galmash Hell, he's the over trigger for the Dark States Nations deck. For like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get to give one of your units plus 100 million power and draw a card, but he also has a skill that's unique to him alone. When revealed during a drive check on your turn, your Vanguard gets plus 10,000 power and plus 1 critical until the end of the fight. So ideally, Galmash Hell is a over trigger best used when as soon as you reveal it as soon as possible. So the earlier you reveal this over trigger in a drive check on your turn, then for the rest of the fight, your Vanguard gets a huge boost of 10,000 power and plus 1 critical. So this over trigger is a pretty good power up for your Dark States Nations decks to either finish off your opponent with extra critical or to pressure your opponent for the whole game if you were lucky enough to get it early in the game. So for Galmash Hell, you got 1 in the deck, okay? So, alright, the deck has been built. Cardfight explains. Let's first save the deck. Override deck being built. Alright, so deck built. Cardfight explains. So, for the cards in this deck, we're playing 4, Grade 3, Diabolos Violence Bruce. 4, Grade 3, Upward Acrobat, Marjorie. 2, Grade 3, Pandemonium Tactics. 1, Grade 2, Diabolos Anger Richard. 3, Grade 2, Diabolos Voice Eden. 4, Grade 2, Diabolos Jetbacker Leonard. 3, Grade 2, Diabolos Returner Derek. 1, Grade 1, Diabolos Bat Steve. 2, Grade 1, Protobelt Dragon. 4, Grade 1, Recusal Hate Dragon. 2, Grade 1, Diabolos Madonna, Mabel. 3, Grade 1, Monitoring Gear Dober. 1, Grade 0, Diabolos Innocent Matt. And for the triggers in this deck, we're playing 8 critical triggers, 3 front triggers, 4 heal triggers, and finally 1 over trigger, Galmash Hell. Alright, deck built, card piece explained. So now let's get on to testing out the deck. So first we leave the deck edit menu, back to main menu, go into fight menu, go into CPU fight. Okay, now choosing the deck to play. The deck I just built, D-BT03 Bruce. And now choosing an opponent to test this deck out on. I'm gonna go up against Keter Sanctuaries, Toyabata, select the opponent, normal difficulty. Alright, the battle begins, let's get started. So, first we got Sai who goes first in the game, so rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors, scissors, one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper to paper, one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors to paper, I win, going first. Nice, so drawing our starting hands. Okay. For my starting hand, I got Marjorie, Protobelt Dragon, a critical trigger, Derek, and Leonard. Okay. I'm gonna just redraw my critical back. Redraw, got another critical. Alright. The battle begins, so I draw another critical. I'm going to write for my right deck, Diabolos Bat Steve. For the right deck cards, let's see. I should hold on to these 4 for my attacking formation later, so I should just discard one of these 2 criticals, so I'll discard the critical without a skill. My, discard. Riding Steve, Steve's skill. I superior call Matt from my soul. Call. Soul charge 1, I soul charge the front trigger. Not good, okay, end of turn. Now it's my opponent's turn. He rides the Great One, Fort, base skill, draw a card. Okay. Battle phase, Vanguard the Vanguard. No guard, take the hit. And drive check. No trigger, Bastion. Okay, he can Persona ride this fight, so damage check, no trigger. Okay, so it's the end of my opponent's turn. It's my turn. I draw. I'm going to ride for my right deck, Diabolos Anger Richard. For the right deck cost, let's see. Again, gotta hold on to these 4, so I guess I'll once again discard a critical trigger instead. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to Stem Deviate, gonna discard the one with no skill, my. Right, Richard's skill, I move Matt to the soul. And draw 1 card. I drew a front trigger, okay. Then next up, I'm gonna call Leonard, Derek, and Protobulb to the rear guards. That should do it. Alright, then going to battle phase. Derek attacks the Vanguard, 10k. The attack goes through. Slam and damage check. Ah, draw trigger, come on! The first damage was a trigger, how lucky can he get? Alright, Vanguard the Vanguard, 1 to pass. Drive check. Ah, no trigger. Alright, the attack does not go through, so finally, Protobulb boosting Leonard attacks the Vanguard, 18k. He doesn't guard, the attack goes through, slam, damage check. No trigger, okay. Leonard's skill, soul charge 1. I soul charge a... Ah, critical trigger, come on, seriously? Alright, my opponent rides Rooks. Port skill, reveal 2 grade 3s, he reveals Sparare and Rafloop, okay. The top card of his deck is... Ah, Rafloop of grade 3, how lucky can he get? He gets Rafloop to attack with, okay. Vanguard the Vanguard. No guard, take the hit. Here it comes. Drive check. No trigger, perfect guard. Ah, another good card. Come on, seriously? Damage check. No trigger. And now, Rafloop attacks the Vanguard. Okay, let's see. I guess I'll try to secure my defense, so... I'm just gonna discard the... this is a tough choice. Let's see. I'm still at 2 damage. I guess I'll just let the attack go through. No guard. Ow! Damage check. No trigger. Perfect guard. Ah, not good. Come on! Alright. My turn. I stand and draw. I ride from my right deck, Diabolos Violence Bruce. And for the cost, let's see. I'm going to discard... Let's see, the order card, or... this is a tough choice. I guess I'll... hold on to the triggers to guard with. I'll discard the grade 3 Marjorie. Discard. Riding, Diabolos Violence Bruce. And I call... Dober to the rear guard. Over here. There we go. That should do it. Now beginning battle phase. My Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 13k. The attack goes through. Twin drive, first check. Perfect guard, nice. And second check. No trigger, okay. So, okay, the attack goes through. 1 damage. And touchdown! 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger, nice. So, next up, boosted by Dober. Derek attacks the Vanguard, 18k. He guards with heal trigger, okay, attack blocked. Alright, so next up, boosted by Protobulb. Leonard attacks the Vanguard, 18k. He got another heal trigger, 25k, attack blocked. Alright, that's it for me, so end of turn. My opponent's turn. He rides the grade 3, Apex Ruler Bastion. Skill Fort Rooks, he reveals 3 grade 3s in hand. He reveals Raploop, Pasado, and Bastion. And he calls Pasado, Raploop skill, giving Pasado power, okay. And he calls another Raploop skill again, adding power to Pasado, not good for me. And calling another Pasado, alright. Okay, I'm gonna block Pasado with my Derek. Intercept. 18k, just enough. Attack blocked. And now Vanguard to Vanguard. I guard with a Front Guardian. Skill plus 5,000 shield. 33k, 2 to pass. The remaining Pasado is too powerful to guard, so I'll just try to block the Vanguard. No guard. Twin drive, first check. Ah, front trigger, come on! The attack goes through, and second check. Grade 3, he can restand a rear guard, so attack blocked. And here comes the Vanguard's skill, restanding Pasado on the right, okay. Rear guard attacks the Vanguard, 45k. No guard, take the hit. Here comes, out. Damage check. Yes! Heal trigger, just what I needed. I heal 1 and power the Vanguard. Okay. Skill Pasado, he counter charges and soul charges. He soul charges a perfect guard. Nice! Rear guard the Vanguard. I guard with a critical trigger. Just enough to guard, 38. So, guard. Holding on to the other cards, so guard. And attack blocked. Alright. End of my opponent's turn. My turn, I stand a draw. Okay. Activating my Vanguard skill, Final Rush. Go into main phase. And okay, let's see. What to do. I'm going to... Let's see, in my soul, I got all these cards. Got plenty of counterblasts. Okay, first up, I call Eden to the rear guard. And next up, I'm going to call Marjorie to the rear guard. And then I activate the order card, Pandemonium Tactics, Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 4, power to the front row, and I draw a card, critical trigger, okay. In my soul, 2 criticals, Derek and Eden, not bad. Alright, going to battle phase, first up. My rear guard, Eden, boosted by Dober, attacks the Vanguard, 33k. The attack goes through, slam, 1 damage, damage check. Ah, front trigger, come on! Okay, activate Eden's skill. I'm going to counter blast 1 and retire 1 rear guard. I retire Pasado. And then Dober's skill. Wait. Ah, that's right, I forgot. Pasado cannot be targeted by card effects. I just wasted a counter blast. Ah, darn it. Okay, just gonna activate Dober's skill. Into the soul. 10,000 power to Eden. Okay, then Leonard attacks the Vanguard, unboosted by Protobelt. Let's see. Hold on, let me see. Okay. I think I got the right choice, so yep. Leonard attack unboosted to the Vanguard, 25k. The attack goes through, 1 damage. And damage check. No trigger, okay. Leonard's skill, I soul charge 1. And superior call from my soul. I'm superior calling Dober to the rear guard. Call. And now my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard. Skill, Soul Blast 5. I'm gonna Soul Blast. Front, critical, 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 heal, all triggers, Soul Blast 5. Restand my front row. Critical added. Front Guardian. So 2 to pass. First check, no trigger. And second check, no trigger, okay. Attack blocked. Now boosted by Dober. Eden attacks the Vanguard. 43k, 2 criticals. He guards with an overtrigger. Nice! His overtrigger is out of the deck. Attack blocked. Dober's skill. Into the soul. Power to Leonard. Now boosted by Protobelt. Leonard attacks the Vanguard. Protobelt skill. Counter Blast 1. I send Marjorie to the soul. I search my soul and add to my hand. Let's see. Something to use. Okay, I'm adding to my hand. 1 Dober. Pretty perfect guards. Okay. So, okay, the attack is blocked. Alright, that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. He Persona rides Bastion. Ah, not good for me. He's going straight to battle phase. Okay. Pasado attacks the Vanguard. No guard, take the hit. Ow! Damage check. Yes! Over trigger! 100 million power to the Vanguard. I drew Protobelt. Okay. Skill of Pasado, he soul charges and counter charges. Attacking the rear guard. No guard. Twin drive, first check. Grade 3, he can restand. And second check. Ah, front trigger. Okay, then 1 rear guard down. And he's activating Bastion skill, restands the other Pasado, power added. Attacking the rear guard, no guard. And Eden is down. Pasado skill, he soul charges and counter charges, okay. My turn, I stand and draw. I activate Bruce's skill, final rush. There we go. And now, okay, then go into main phase. I'm going to call to the rear guard. I call Leonard to the rear guard. And I call Dober. And Protobelt Dragon. That should do it. Go into battle phase. First up, Leonard attacks the rear guard. Boosted, Leonard boosted by Protobelt attacks the rear guard Pasado. The attack goes through. Okay, 1 rear guard down. Attack hits. Leonard's skill. Soul charge. I superior call from my soul. Let's see. Superior call. Eden to the rear guard. Call. Power added. Then Eden, boosted by Dober, attacks the Vanguard. 23k. He guards with critical trigger. Okay. And now Dober's skill into the soul, giving power to Eden. And now boosted by Protobelt, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 21k. Skill of Bruce, Soul Blast 5, Soul Blasting, let's see, Matt, heal, Marjorie, and Richard, and I guess Derek, Soul Blast 5. Restarting my front row rear guards. There we go, critical added. He guards for front guardian. So now it's 2 to pass, twin drive, first check, no trigger. And second check, no trigger, okay. The attack does not go through, and now Eden attacks the Vanguard, 25k, 2 crits. He guards with a perfect guard. Okay. And attack blocked, okay. And now, finally, Leonard attacks the Vanguard, 15k. Yes, he cannot guard, 1 damage. Slam and damage check. No trigger, okay, cannot heal. 6 damage, I win. Huh, that was rough, okay. I got win, attack 40,000 more power, attack 5 or more times in 1 turn, drew an over trigger, 8 turns passed, did a superior call, retired 5 or more opposing units, got 2300 VP, total 25,350 VP, press A to go next. Okay, deck has been tested out in front of you, so leaving fight menu, going back to main menu, to edit deck menu. Okay, so the deck has been built, card effects explained, and tested out in front of you. So with that, that's just all the time we have for today. So first off, I want to say thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that, I say goodbye and see you all soon.